I think it's up, or is it not up? Alright, what's up? It's Stopmania. We're going to be talking about a couple things today. Obviously, number one, the Cup Series race. The whole couple-hour rain delay before all the stuff that went down. So, yeah. So, Clinton Boyer was your winner from the whatever firecracker, whatever race this was. The first thing I'm going to talk about is the tire issues and how Goodyear needs to get it together. We saw like at least 5 tire issues with separate race cars. One thing I did see in common was there were a lot of Chevys and Fords that had tire issues this race. But you cannot don't count Toyota out of having tire issues because earlier in the season they had a lot, but just keep that out. Currently, right now, the points as they go. Kyle Busch is your leader. Rowdy Knights, yeah, Kyle's your leader at the moment, and Kevin Harvick second. Surprisingly, Joey Logano third, 98 points behind the leader, and he only has one win. Kyle and Kevin have Kyle 4, Kevin 5. Driver that has 2 wins already this season is Clint Boyer, which, if you think about it like this, Clint Boyer has the same amount of wins as Martin Truex Jr. right now. So there's that. Kurt Busch is in 7th, Denny's Hamlin's 8th, Ryan Blaney in 9th. That's pretty good for him right now. Kyle Larson running 10th after his Michigan save. Eric Almirola running 11th. If you think back, say, 2 years ago to Eric Almirola, think about Eric Almirola 2 years ago. What was he doing? You think, what was Eric Almirola doing 2 years ago? He was running into 43 Smithfield car. Wasn't literally in 11th in the points. That's pretty good. And then you have Jimmy Johnson in 12th. And if we're being honest, I don't see any hope for Jimmy at the end of this season. I mean, yeah, when Chevys improve and we get the first Chevy in points, which is, may I remind you, 10th place. Yes, you heard that correctly. 10th place. It took. There are 9 cars ahead of the first Chevy in the points right now. 9 cars. Do you understand that 2 years ago, Jimmy Johnson won his 7th championship, which is, let me remind you, the same as Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt Sr. So I just wanted to put that out there that Chevy isn't performing up to where their fans want them to. Alex Bowman's in 15th, just pointing out some notable drivers. First rookie this year is William Byron in 20th. Disappointing for him. And then Daniel Suarez in 21st. That chase cutoff driver in 16th is at the moment Ricky Stenhouse Jr. At the moment. Sorry, that was my phone. I will turn that down. Bubba Wallace is the 43 in 24th. And I'm going to stop with David Reagan in 25th. Nobody else notable except Matt DiBenedetto 30th. I guess you could put Trevor Bayne, who is on the NASCAR website. They have Matt Kenseth listed in the 6th. I don't know if that's supposed to change, but they currently have Matt in the 6th and not Trevor. They also have DJ Kennington in the 7. But yeah, currently Ross Chastain is in 47th. The notable thing about Chastain is at the moment he has 14 starts. I believe only one of those I believe the other one that he didn't run was Daytona. But he's ran almost all the races this season. That's very impressive for Ross Chastain. That's pretty good. So that's enough for the Cup Series talk. Clinton Boyer wins. Sad day for racing. Xfinity Series, not much to say about that, except it was rain shortened, and Austin Dillon won, which is pretty good for all you number 3 fans. He ended up winning. I guess Leo's happy. points in the points. Now, remember what I said with the Cup Series points? The first rookie was in 20th. So the first rookie in the Xfinity Series points is Tyler Reddick in 4th. The three drivers that are ahead of him are Elliott Sadler first, Cole Custer in second, Daniel Hemrick third. But then after Tyler Reddick's another rookie, Christopher Bell. And then the next one is in 11th. So, and your boy Ross Chastain's in 13th right now. Oh, I gotta get over Chastain. But currently, like at the moment, where they stand, they have Elliott Sadler in the first. They also have Spencer Gallagher, 12th. But I don't know if that's really gonna affect anything. Gallagher. Not a lot else to talk about in that series except, you know, a bunch of drivers are out here. So the thing that I want to talk about is Ryan Sieg in 15th. That's impressive. Ryan Sieg in 15th right now in the points. Justin Allgaier 6th, and basically, yeah. All right. So then the next thing I want to bring up is the Truck Series. Johnny Sauter won that race. Stuart Friesen, impressive second. Uh, Justin Haley third, Grant Enfinger fourth, Matt Crafton fifth. I'm not gonna get into that, the finishing results. I just know that Stuart Friesen screwed up the restart. I'm gonna talk about Truck Series points at the moment. It is Johnny Sauter first, Noah Gragson second, Brett Moffitt in third. That's impressive in the 16, right? Grant Enfinger, Matt Crafton, Ben Rhodes, Stuart Friesen, Justin Haley, then Dalton Sargent and Matt Snyder, 9th and 10th. Those are both rookies in the Truck Series. Here. Matt, yeah. So currently, um, rookies are all in the top 10 except for the Cup Series. Now, I will talk about one thing. IndyCar running Texas. IndyCar at Texas was very exciting. Scott Dixon won. But the things I want to talk about, hold up. Should have pulled this up before, but the thing I want to talk about is the hold up. Will Power, and then Zachary Clement DeMaio, whatever. Their wreck. Whose fault was that? I want to know whose fault was the wreck between Will Power, like Will Power's crash. Whose fault was that? I want to know who do you guys think the fault was? And then the other one I want to talk about is currently. Wait, is the hold up the the other wreck that happened, the Wickens and Carpenter crash, the crash between Joseph Wickens and Ed Carpenter, their wreck. Now I'm gonna bring on somebody. Jet, introduce yourself. He's gonna talk about who, the IndyCar race and whose fault the wrecks were. So
Alright.
Jet, who do you think?
So
I
I'm
will send
here.
you the links here. Talk about there. And then whose fault was the Will Powers crash, and whose fault was the Wickens Carpenter crash?
Alright. So I didn't really watch much of the IndyCar race, not really that much. I watched the last few laps. But I have been some of the times when I was watching a wreck will happen. And so as how it looks like, basically the first wreck I saw was um Zachary and Zachary Clayman, I
Will
think.
Power.
And
Those, yeah.
yeah. So
Zachary Clement and Will Power. Their wreck.
so as in my opinion, As I saw it, it really looked like it was basically Clement's fault because he went high on willpower.
You see,
As
now I respect willpower, right? I
yeah,
100% respect him. He is one of the best IndyCar drivers out there currently at the moment, right? He did get a penalty for avoidable contact, but it was also Zachary Clement's fault for being on the outside at a track where there's only really one groove. You know the 12's going to slide up coming out of turn four. Why would you even bother to go there?
yeah, that's true.
So that's my opinion on that. I feel like it was mostly Will Power's fault, but it was Zachary Clement's fault too.
Yeah, when I saw it, it looked like willpower had a really good run on the high side, and then Zachary just went up, and then
hmm Well,
just
Will Power was the one on the bottom, and then Zachary was the one on the high side, and
oh,
Will Power was the
I'm
one that
just
came
I'm
up.
just used to seeing willpower drive a white car, you know.
Yeah, he drives the silver car a little bit.
So
But then the
basically,
Wickens and
yeah,
Carpenter crash, when Wickens and Carpenter wrecked, whose fault was that? Because I totally see the car on the bottom, which is the car on the bottom is Wickens, and then the car on the top is
yeah,
is
that was Wickens'
Carpenter.
fault. I saw that. That
It
was
was
Wickens'
all
fault. I don't know
well,
what
you
was
can't
Wickens
go and
doing.
the entire race long, you saw these cars try to go too wide into the turn. One of them had to back out. It's almost like playing chicken, you know? You
Yeah.
can't just completely dive it in there too wide in a track where there's only really one groove, especially with the open wheel race cars. But if you go look at it, like go back and look at the replay, that was 100% Wiggins' fault.
Yeah.
Dove in
He
too deep and made
yeah.
contact with the tires.
He dive bombed
Now,
and then went straight up into Carpenter. So,
that's what I think.
yeah.
Um, but then I'm really impressed with the drivers that were able to avoid hitting them. Because you're going 220 miles per hour. How do you slow yourself down in time to avoid hitting two flying pieces of sheet metal? Now,
Mhm.
what I am going to talk about besides IndyCar, and Jet's going to be on for this segment too, it's about the MRA races of this weekend. Trucks, Kansas, Cup and Xfinity, ISM. Now, I'm gonna bring up the truck series and work my way up. I wanted to point out my driver ended up wrecking the truck series, so wanted to point that out. But truck series, lots of really good racing. Jet, what was your opinion on that one?
The truck race today this season, I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of one of the most kind of horrible races I hosted, but the finish actually went out good. The 0-0 of EHR wins another Kansas race, and with the same number
Insane.
but a different driver. That's really, really impressive. EHR, it's been looking like EHR's team is really good at those type of tracks like Kansas, and we'll see
The
what can they do at
1.5 mile
another type of
tracks.
track like at Michigan.
Yeah. Now we're gonna talk about Xfinity ISM, and oof, was that insane.
It
So
was
there was
really,
wreck on pit road. There were wrecks everywhere. Really surprise winner, my driver, Super Lego Green. Shout out to him if he's watching this. But he ended up winning the race, and pretty good finish to that. He ended up holding off for the win. But I really do feel like the types of racing that happen in MRA is just some of the most interesting racing out there. What was your opinion on the D2 race?
that was one of the most clean races I've seen in my whole life hosting D2. I swear. Like,
It was a very interesting race,
yeah, the
especially for
restarts were also
ISM.
crazy.
Yes,
Dale, he had a really nice run that race. I'm surprised he didn't win, but other drivers like Spider, even Breezy was showing that he had it in.
yes, a driver I do want to talk about who was in the Xfinity series and tying this back to the truck series. Don't forget he was a 0-0 thing, but I believe Breezy was a 0-0 back at the or whenever he won Kansas and stuff. But if you look at Dale's dominance here, you s- you're watching this, you think to yourself, it's really just going to be a race between Dale and Pitt, first two stages. Then you hit pit road. everything that you predicted goes wrong. Huge wreck in turn one, the wall glitched out, and then, if you go back and look at the final restart, you will end up seeing that there was a big push between the 48 and the 20. There might have been some communication going on between them, but the 48 gave the 20 one of the best pushes I've ever seen. I don't know who you want to. I don't know if anything's going to happen with that, but that was the the best push I've ever seen in at ISM. D1, interesting, very very interesting. JoJo Salt got fined. I'm not sure if anything actually happened with that, but JoJo did get in trouble. Bunch of drivers got in trouble throughout this entire event. Um, I brought home a nice P2. Very fair, decent racing all way. The whole race through, the hard racing till the end. We don't give up. That's JGR's thing. Never give up till the checkered flag waves. But yeah, we were just pushing. Ended up getting P2. Drive in front of us wrecked. It was good. We had a very good, dominant, winning stage one, winning stage two, and coming P3 and P2 in the race. Very good. Jet, what was your opinion on D1?
Well, about D1 ISM, it was not Ellie's day, man.
Not at all.
Like, it was not Ellie's day. It was not Cool Racing's day. We had a terrible week. Well, not terrible week, but terrible day. Saturday at Xfinity, we actually had a good run. No, I'm proud of that. But our Cup team, our day was horrible, really horrible. I don't know what's been going on through lately, but we're just gonna have to work on that. And but Ellie told me that he could not find a path to get through the guys because every single lap everybody was wrecking, so he couldn't get through. And I told him it's okay, it happens all the time. Just be ready for next week and put that, like, imagine in your mind that you have a box and put all your bad times that you had of the day, put them in that box and lock it shut and just throw it away.
Hmm. One other subject that I do want to bring up is down in the comment section below, or live comments if anybody's actually watching this, which I doubt. Um, who who are you gonna cheer for at Road America for IndyCar and for Cup Series next week? All three divisions. I want to know who's your predictions to win Road America and whatever track the Cup Series goes to.
Cup's going to Sonoma, I'm thinking.
Sonoma and whatever. What are your
Oh
predictions for
man,
next week
Sonoma's gonna be our
in
last time.
any division?
Sonoma is gonna be our last time. We're gonna hear Mike Joy, Daryl Watson, and Jeff Gordon commentate.
Yeah, that's gonna be
We gotta hear
insane.
these
Cause
NBCSN jerk offs.
but Dale's in that. Dale Jr.
Yeah, I
All
know.
right. Wow. Realized something about you that I didn't realize till today. All right. Well, that's it for tonight's podcast. It was a pretty short one overall. Uh, Peace out, Rage Nation. See you next week.
Let's talk about the MRA points.
Yes. Definitely. I will pull that if I can find that.
Let's go.
Might not be able to find it.
I'll put the.
Let me
Hold up.
go and see if I can ever find it.
Um.
Okay, I'm pulling it up. Right now, Epic is your points leader. Dale is your points leader in D2. D3, NASCAR Nate. Wow. Okay, so I will talk about the last place driver as well. Court in D1. I don't expect him to do any good. Michael, D3 or D2. He was. I'm not sure about him because there's a lot of potential in that kid, but I don't know if he's going to be able to pull it off. Nahanki in D3. Really, I didn't see any potential in him at Kansas, but you never really know. It's gonna go down. Um, Talk about drivers under the chase, under the cutoff. I mean, Cooley, who's under the cutoff after literally just winning this week, because it's the only race he's came to. So that's why he's under the cutoff in ninth. But don't forget, it's Kyle who's ahead of him. And is Kyle really going to be able to hold off a winner at a regular track? Pepsi with 2 wins, the only repeat winner this whole season. Then we'll go to D2. You have some drivers that I really want to point out in D2 that have a lot, and I mean a lot of potential, are Pitt in 10th. A lot of potential. Super in ninth. Maybe moving up to the Cup Series. I'm not giving away any info right now, but he's probably moving up to the Cup. Maz, he's alright. Breezy, 6th. Yeah, he has potential. Potential written all over. Ford, he's alright. He might move up to the Cup Series and McCool Racing fires a driver. Agent. um, Leo's alright. I see some potential in him, but not enough to be a D1 frequent winner. Cam Samuel, definitely see potential in him. Feel like he might get an offer for the 32 next season. He's a might be for the title fan. Tough Tyler, second, definitely a lot of potential. His friend Dale. Now the two best friends running 1 and 2. That's very cool. Two best friends running 5th and 6th too, huh? Me and PK, huh? It's a little bit weird, but a driver I don't think should really be where he is right now. If he were to show Ellie running ninth, if he were to show more constantly, he would be running second. Speaking of second, JoJo's fault, who already has a win, but he did get. There was some tension between him and Jet earlier. Um, then Epic is your points leader. The thing about Epic, he doesn't take anything seriously, so I will not be surprised if in a couple weeks he gets suspended for doing something really stupid. Um, Another thing, Nicedale Jr. in 12th, the guy that rages after literally every single race. Every single race. There's not a race where he doesn't rage afterwards. Um, See now, Division 2, there have been 17 different drivers that have showed up to races. D1, there have only been 15. D3, there have been 14. So Division 2 is by far the most popular division. Making it the most popular makes it have some of the most interesting racing. If you guys want to watch a good race in MRA, come to a D2 race. Tickets are always free. Come on down, watch a D2 race, and stay for the D1 race the day after. Definitely watch those, because those two are the most exciting division. Truck Series, I can't really say that about that though. Only had 14 different drivers, and a good half of them um haven't showed that much potential yet. All right, I'm gonna let Jet talk about the points.
So as of right now, some of the drivers that are below the cutoff, if they're gonna need to get in, a win's not really gonna help them as some of the drivers, but stage points will really matter in this type of points. Stage points actually matters, um, especially for D3, because only 8 people make the chase, and there's lots of drivers trying to get in that chase spot. So stage points they were actually needed. That's how NASCAR Nate and that's how NASCAR Nate's basically leading the points because he always gets stage wins. He doesn't need a win if he's getting stage wins and good results. So that if he keeps on doing that, maybe he could make it all the way to the final four on points.
I'm gonna just point something out really quick. Kyle and Cyan, wait a minute. Never mind. I thought I saw. Yes, I did. Swagger has 49 points and he's in 11th. Reckless has 45 points and he's in
Oh,
10th.
I put it in the wrong place.
All right, yeah. I just wanted
Reckless
to
is
point that out.
Reckless is supposed to have 49, and Swagger's
Speaking
supposed
of
to have.
Swagger, speaking of Swagger, he's a lot of potential. When he showed up to the race this weekend, he had the fastest car. Swagger had the fastest car out on the track. Do not expect him to not get a win before the end of the season. He's going to get a win before the end of the season. Another driver I say that about is definitely Tough Tyler. He has the fastest car week in and week out, and he always finds a way to get up to the front. And past couple weeks, he hasn't really won any stages, but never count Tough Tyler out. Last season, he did not get a win until the chase, and he won the championship on a single car truck team. I wanted to point that out. Just wanted to point out, single car truck team won the champ. Well, Motors. Um, Cam Sam will definitely gonna do good. Ford definitely gonna do good. Breezy gonna do good. And the Cup Series, I can't really say any of these drivers are gonna do good. I mean, Ellie's definitely gonna get another win. I feel like Pepsi's not gonna be the only repeat winner. Also, I feel like Pepsi's gonna miss a couple races thinking, I got 2 wins, I'm probably locked in at this point. Thinking, I don't really have to show to the next couple races. Watch somebody like Swagger win a race, pushes him up. Watch then, like, everybody under the bubble comes to that race. Cooley, Reckless, Swagger, LJ, Jen, and they all come, right? Say half the top drivers above it don't come. Say Pepsi, Alvin, Cyan, and Harmon don't come. Then you have Cooley, Reckless, Swagger, LJ, Jen, Honky, Nate, Joey, Homie, and Av all racing. And watch Nate, Joey, Homie, and Av all wreck each other. You're going to have Cooley, Reckless, Swagger, LJ, Jen, and Honky already up front. And Cooley already has a win, so do not expect Cooley to hold off any longer. If we want to go to the KBM segment, my segment, favorite one, Joey, P2, 194 points. Very close to the leader. Then Kyle, fifth in 59 or 59 points, P8. So both of my drivers in the chase right there. D2, we have both my drivers in the chase. One in ninth, Super, and the other one Leo, fourth. Then for Cup, we have all three drivers in the chase, and they're not even by the cutoff. Jojo running second, me in fifth, and Brad in seventh. I wanted to point out Brad is doing better than King Awesome, Alley, Rocky, Lego, Nice, Zesty, Agent, and Court right now. So is Leo fourth, 141 points. If we want to be honest, I don't know if I think he's gonna make it to the final four. He's in fourth. Huge gap between him and fifth. But I don't know, because he hasn't shown speed. Leo hasn't really shown speed recently. Um, Driver, I did not expect to win a stage. Did not expect him to even breach into the top five. Was Eagle. Definitely did not see Eagle winning that stage at Las Vegas. Alright, well, I think that is it for tonight's broadcast. See you guys next Monday, or
Thanks. All
whenever
right.
we do it.
Thanks, you two, for
Peace
watching.
out. Nation. See ya.